Minneapolis, Minnesota, Jack Owens. And in this corner, weighing 222 pounds, from Oak Park, Illinois, Carl Engstrom. Referee, Frank Allen.
This match, third on our card, between Carl Engstrom of Oak Park, Illinois, who is on the left, as you look at your screen, wearing the dark jacket, and Jack Owens of Kenosha, now living in Minneapolis, on the right with his back to you. Well, there's a switch as Owens took Engstrom's preferred handshake. Very unlike him, because Owens, in the rough, tough school, usually storms to the attack from the opening bell, which has just sounded. Carl Engstrom, who is very scientific, very clever, and as we have mentioned many times when we've seen Carl wrestle, his background is very obvious in the ring. Carl has his own dancing school. He's been an adagio dancer in the past. He's very active in teaching dancing and gymnastics right now, and this helps to keep him well prepared for the rugged grind in the game of wrestling. This match is one fall, also with a curfew time limit. Carl, 230 pounds. Jack Owens is 225 pounds. This is Wrestling Champions. George Bernard at ringside, coming to you from Marigold Arena, Chicago, wrestling center of the world. And I'd like to suggest to all you wrestling fans that if you ever get to Chicago, during your visit, make it a must to come out to Marigold, see the world's greatest wrestlers wrestling here at Marigold every Wednesday and Saturday night. Carl Engstrom storming back after taking some punishing blows from Jack Owens. Sends him reeling, and Owens has had enough. He'd like to catch his breath for the moment, so he ducks outside the rope. And again. Incidentally, as Owens works in the ring, you notice that he resorts to those punches and blows. You might keep in mind that he once boxed as a heavyweight. vicious knee lift. Slamming Owens into the turnbuckles, to the delight of this crowd at Marigold, pulling him into a shoulder block, and Owens is dazed. There's another shoulder block. And those do hurt. Watch it again. 1, 2. Jack Owens started to kick away. I don't know if it's official. It is. I had to hesitate for a moment because Jack Owens started to kick away, and it was doubtful for just a second as to whether or not our referee, Frank Ellis, had gotten to the count of 3, but he did. And you saw him raise Carl Engstrom's arm in the sign of victory. Let's get the official on it from our ring announcer, Len Sterling.
The time, 4 minutes, 52 seconds, with body slams to the body press, the winner, Carl Engstrom.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have Carl Engstrom here with me. And, you know, Carl, I have mentioned in the times that you've wrestled how graceful and agile you are in the ring. I know the reason, because you've been in dancing in several ways throughout your career. I understand that right now you have a dancing school,
Yes,
is
that's
that right?
true. My wife and I own and operate a dancing school in Oak Park, Illinois.
And does this, do you share your time equally between the dancing school and wrestling?
Well, I try to. My wife Louise, she takes care of most of the ballet and the actual dancing. I teach the tumbling and gymnastics.
Oh, you teach tumbling and gymnastics,
tumbling
too?
and gymnastics, yes.
Is this a lucrative field? Do you find that there's enough interest in it to warrant teaching it in a gym or have a school
Well,
for it?
we have our own studio, and we are doing quite well. And within recent years, there's been a great surge of interest in dancing as such, and also in gymnastics, which we're getting into more and more each time.
Do you think, Carl, that this, I've noticed that all over the country, you see these trampoline places. Do you think that maybe the start of the trampoline might help you in your school?
No, not as much, because we don't have the trampoline, although I was looking around for a studio.
Of course,
that
it's
had
a form of gymnastics,
Yes,
though.
that's true, and they do have it in AAU and are trying to get it into Olympic competition. But we don't have one as yet, although I'm looking around for a studio large enough to accommodate.
It's been many years since I worked on a trampoline, and it's a lot of fun.
And
You don't have one in your...
No, we don't have one as yet. I'm looking around for one.
What do you enjoy teaching most, dancing or gymnastics?
Well, I like the gymnastics and tumbling myself, although I do like the ballet. I do take ballet and also a little modern jazz, which we're going into this season.
And you do find that this helps you in your wrestling.
Oh,
Do you do
very
any other
definitely.
kind of working out for wrestling?
Well, I work with the weights, and I do actual wrestling workouts.
You do. Well, this is very, very interesting, and I've only had brief opportunities to mention it while you've been in the ring, and I did want to get a greater insight into it. In the few seconds we have left, do you have any plans as far as the wrestling is concerned?
Well, of course, I'm always striving to better myself and to try to get a step up the ladder.
How do you think you're going to get up those steps?
Well, by meeting all comers and doing my very best, which I have been doing right along.
I see. Well, Carl, thank you very much. Let's wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Carl Engstrom, very happy to talk to him. And it's been another exciting night here at Wrestling Champions in Marigold Arena in Chicago. We've had a fine card. In the opener, we'll give you a quick rundown on what happened in case you may have joined us late. The Crusher from Milwaukee beat Hank Lane in one fall. Johnny Case of Antioch, Illinois, the Midwest heavyweight champion, took George Kramer, also one fall. These were all one-fall matches, incidentally. Carl Engstrom, who we just talked to, beat Jack Owens in a very, very fine match. And you just saw Buddy Rogers, the world's heavyweight champion, beat Juan Hernandez of Mexico City in an especially exciting topper, finished off by his fabulous figure four grapevine. That's it. We're going to have more wrestling for you on Wrestling Champions here at Marigold Arena next week with another real exciting card. So I want each and every one of you to be on hand in your living room where you're going to see the finest wrestlers in the world. So be right here, same time, same station next week for Wrestling Champions. Until then, this is George Bernard saying that's all for now, and we'll be seeing you next week on this channel with another edition of Wrestling Champions produced by Sports Publicity Institute.